everyone. Thank you so much for inviting us into your home today. It's such an important event. You know, today would have been the 16th annual Polo Classic for Ronald McDonald House of Charities Inland Northwest. But of course, COVID-19 has changed everything. That mayor quality probably would have canceled it anyway. So, welcome to the only the second annual Telethon for Ronald McDonald House of the Inland Northwest. The first was back in 1986. That's when they were trying to raise original funds to finish the original house. Now, here we are, this big, beautiful house. We need to raise funds. We need to help families right here in the Inland Northwest who are facing crisis. Over the next hour, we're going to have the opportunity to meet just a slew of amazing people who have helped make this all come together. The first up, though, Susie Dix. We all know her as being a premier realtor here in Spokane, but our family runs deep in helping out the Ronald McDonald House tables.
That's what I heard. I know, that's what I heard.
Can you get a stick mic?
No.
From the other people who were in the house, from the staff members, from other parents, from other kids, to see that there is hope for them. And Ronald McDonald House has, I don't know how many hundreds of families that is taken care of, but this year they've doubled that amount, roughly, by building a new facility. So it's a tough year for them to not have the polo event, which is one of its main fundraisers. We as a polo club love the chance to use our sport to give back to others. And this was disappointing to us as to everybody else. So I'm hoping that you all give money, the same amount of money, or maybe more money that you would have given if you went to the event. And so if you were thinking, I'd go to that event and I'm gonna spend $10,000, please send that donation in at $10,000. And maybe you're gonna up it this year because we're in such need. So I invite everybody at this telethon to spend a lot of money for the kids and support one of the best causes you can do.
Susie, thank you so much for all that you've done and all that your family has done. We want to welcome you back in. Again, we are here. This is the second annual telethon that Ronald McDonald House of Charities Inland Northwest has done. The first, again, back in 1986. We're here to raise money today. It's so important that we help out these families in crisis. And helping me today, and you know her very well because she's been involved in so many different charities here throughout the Inland Northwest, is Rose Bax. Rose, hi, how are you?
I'm great, Leslie. Thank you. I hope everyone watching at home is doing fantastic as well. From my vantage point, I can see Larry H. Miller. And the reason that's important is because those phone lines are already open. We have volunteers standing by. Of course, this is a telethon. And so that's what we want you to do. We encourage you to pick up the phone and call. The number is on your screen. It's 509-343-7222. It's a telethon. So we encourage you to pick up those phone and call. Of course, Ronald McDonald House has been providing home away from home for over 30 years. Our goal tonight is big. Our goal is $500,000, but we know that we can get there with the support of this community. I have seen it with my own eyes time and time again. Spokane and this Inland Northwest, you show up in a time of need, and we need you now. We have already raised $136,000, 798. That puts us at 27% of our goal. I am confident that we can get to our goal of $500,000 with your support. Thank you. Leslie.
All right, Rose, thank you so much. And a big thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us put this on today. Again, you heard Rose say it. This is a telethon. It's so important. We're raising
big, beautiful house. And with that said, I want to introduce you to this beautiful lady, Mima Scarpelli. She has been a board member for the last 4 years. Mima, talk to us about how important this new house is and what we need to do to support you.
Thank you, Leslie. You know, we opened the doors of the first Ronald McDonald House in Spokane a little more than 30 years ago. And since that time, we have provided over 170,000 nights of lodging, comfort, and support to more than 20,000 families. We have first-class pediatric medical facilities as well as providers here in Spokane. And as those services have increased, so has the need for the support from Ronald McDonald House Charities. While we've helped a lot of families through the years, we have also unfortunately had to turn way too many families away because we simply did not have enough rooms. Our wait list in recent years has averaged as many as 14 families a day. Those families face very difficult decisions, as many of them are simply quite unable to pay for a hotel room. So instead, they sleep in their cars, they sleep in hospital waiting rooms, or they leave their hospitalized child to travel home. For families staying at our house, the average commute to home is about 100 miles one way. So because of this chronic wait list, we have been focused at Ronald McDonald House on expanding capacity so that we can help more families. And as Leslie mentioned, in March of this year, we opened the doors to this beautiful house. It's right across the street from our first house and more than doubles our ability to help. This house has 34 rooms. We have 10 suites that are designed for longer term stays or immune compromised stays. We have a family kitchen wing where families can come together and cook and share their own comfort food. We have laundry facilities, an exercise room, and a lot of quiet spaces where children can study, get help with tutoring, or families can work. In both of our houses, we have gathering spaces that help create that community and connection between families. One of the most powerful aspects of our mission is the knowledge, comfort, support that families going through a medical crisis provide for each other. So with both houses open on our campus, we can now serve up to 56 families or over hundreds of individuals every single day. We are so grateful to the incredible donors that have contributed to this expansion so far. We're thankful for all of our sponsors and all of the donors that are calling in for today's Call for the Kids. We are able to do great work because of your incredible generosity and support. So thank you very much.
Oh, Mima, thank you so much for all you've done to make this happen. You heard Mima say we could serve 56 families here. That is so important. We don't want these families to sleep in their cars. We want these families to be together. That's what it's really all about. We talk about those phone banks being open. You see that number at the bottom of your screen. I want to introduce you to John Henson. He is the new general manager for Larry H. Miller Lexus. Hi, John.
Here at Larry H. Miller Lexus of Spokane, we believe in doing good in the community. That's why we partnered this year with the Ronald McDonald Foundation to help sponsor the Polo Classic event. Larry Miller once said, "Go about doing good until there's no more good left in the world." And so that's why we partnered with their mission and our mission. It aligns and we want to do the right thing for our community. Due to COVID, we're not able to have the Polo Classic event. Because of that, we've done this telethon. It's a way we can raise money and help here at Larry H. Miller, Lexus of Spokane. Thank you for joining us during this telethon. It's a worthy endeavor, and we look forward to helping the community with you.
John, thank you so much. We really appreciate all that you have done as well. And housing those phone banks, and you see that number on your screen, please call in now. We are raising money for Ronald McDonald House of Charities, Inland Northwest, serving so many families coming in and out, taking care of families in crisis. I'm going to send it back over to my friend Rose. She is taking a walk through Ronald McDonald House of Charities, the brand new one. Hi, Rose.
Hi, yes, absolutely. And what I'm standing in front of right here is one of our rooms. The Adopt a Room is what I'm going to share with you right now. One of the most influential and powerful things you can do today is adopt a room. $5,000 will allow you to put your name, a company name, or maybe an honorary name on this room. We have 15 of these rooms available for adoption. We would love for all 15 of them to get adopted out today. We are super excited to acknowledge Ron and Carol West. They were one of the original founders of our very first Ronald McDonald House. They have committed to sponsoring the room that they support again this year. So we'd love for you to take a look inside. There are 15 of these rooms available left for sponsor. And as you heard already from John Henson over at Larry H. Miller, this is indeed a worthy endeavor upon you today. Great opportunity to be had right here, right now. Pick up those phones. The volunteers and sponsors are waiting. Leslie?
All right, Rose, thank you again so much. Again, a huge thank you to all of our sponsors. You are making this happen today, and this is so important. Pick up those phones. It's a dreary, gloomy day, smoky day, I might add, and it's a good time. I just want to remind you, too, that it is always better to give than it is to receive, and the families here that will be receiving your donations are so in need. We told you at the start of the show that you were going to have an opportunity to meet so many incredible people through this next hour. I want to invite you to meet this incredible couple. They're from Clarkston. Take a listen.
We had a baby at 26 weeks and 2 days, Onyx. And so we're up in Spokane at the NICU visiting him. So we're just staying so we can be closer to him and help him grow and get bigger until he can come home. So
he's doing really well.
He's doing really well, yeah. He's 5 pounds. He was 2 pounds at birth, so he's a lot bigger. Over double his birth weight, which is impressive. With me being on bed rest for so long, I had to go back to work, and some of the, requirements here didn't work for us in our schedule. But then after they opened up into stage 3.5, or that's when it ended up being something that we could do. So then that's when we started staying here. There's a lot more than I thought it was. I thought it was kind of like a hotel where you just stay. And we actually, when Onyx was first born, because of COVID, we were staying at a hotel. And so buying food every day at, restaurants or whatever, it was getting expensive. And so here they provide food, which was super nice, because when you're 2 hours away from home, it's either eat out or, if you don't have any place to cook, you can't cook. So that was really nice that we didn't have that expense anymore.
It is an expense, and it's an expense on top of everything that is already so incredibly difficult. So again, we want to thank you so much for being with us today. Again, this is our second annual telethon for Ronald McDonald House of the Inland Northwest. We are meeting so many incredible people. I do want to just take a quick little programming note and let you know, yes, we are not wearing masks. And the reason why is because we are properly social distanced here within the new facility. We want you to be able to see our faces, our smiles, and maybe even our tears. I do want to introduce you to a good friend of mine, Jared Kiefer. He is the co-founder and executive director of Community Cancer Fund. Good morning. How are you?
Good, Leslie. Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your involvement with Ronald McDonald House Charities of the Inland Northwest. You guys do so much for Spokane and for Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, we've been a partner with the Ronald McDonald House pretty much since we started back in 2014. And it's just such a valuable service to our community. And we've always viewed the fact that there was a waiting list at the Ronald McDonald House for families as something that we needed to fix. And this new house here does that. Such a great organization. With a cancer diagnosis, families are faced with so many different things. The fact that they don't have to worry about a place to stay, meals, going back and forth to their houses is just totally worth it, totally valuable, and something that this community really needed. And this new house and what it's providing is just awesome.
Well, Jared, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all that you do here in our community. It is so important. We need to make sure that this house is up and running and has the funds that it needs to take care of the families that are coming through that are, again, in crisis. And it is crisis. Those meals are expensive. Hotel rooms are expensive. Imagine one of your children being sick and you have to travel 100, 200 miles away from home to take care of that child. We want to make sure that we're taking care of these families. Rose, please tell me that we are seeing those phone lines light up and we're making some money here.
We are absolutely already seeing these donations continue to come in. Bob Peters has given us 1,000. Judy Carlaccio has given, and she's a volunteer. Erin Corper has given. Vicki McLean, thank you all so much. And we are so fortunate that we have a contribution tonight, a challenge, I would say, this afternoon from the Fetty Trust. They have committed a $25,000 gift that we are going to be able to use dollar for dollar right now. The next 25 gifts that come in at $1,000 are going to be matched dollar for dollar by the Fetty Trust. We are just overwhelmed and excited about that opportunity. So if you want to see your dollars double, right now is an opportunity for you to do that. Your $1,000 gift is worth $2,000, and the phone lines are open at Larry H. Miller Lexus. There are volunteers and sponsors waiting by to receive your calls. Every day we have an opportunity to impact the world for good. Every day we have an opportunity to be the change that we want to see. And right now you can be that change simply by picking up your phone. You can make sure that stories like the one you just heard about Onyx, where he was able to be close to his mom and dad, continue to be true. 30 plus years we've been doing this at Ronald McDonald House, and we need your help to continue. Leslie.
Yes, we do need your help. And those phone lines will be open until 5 o'clock tonight. We do want to say a big thank you again to all of our sponsors who are helping us, to allowing us to be here today. I do want to introduce you to another family who has just benefited from the Ronald McDonald House of Charities. This is the Barté family.
My name is Charles Barté. This is my wife and this is my family. We've been here for 1 month, and we basically, my wife gave birth, and the kids had some issues going on, and they couldn't discharge the kids and her from the hospital. So the kids had to be in the hospital for 1 month. And she was discharged after 3 days, I think. But then we didn't have a place where to stay. And to our gratitude, Ronald McDonald House came to our rescue. And they have hosted us, they've been feeding my family, they have provided us with meals, accommodation, name it, and everything somebody would need in such a difficult moment. You know, one time I've been asking her that, how do they do it? Because that's one thing I kind of up to now. How do they do it? That's something because, especially in this difficult time, this is a very difficult moment that finding a place that can provide each and everything somebody needs in this time of need. That's something that is so amazing.
It's really good. Like
you can't even describe to somebody the kind of service that
you've got so much going on in your head. You've got the pain and all that, but you just feel like you come home. And
yeah, this is it.
It's really like home. Yeah.
Oh, I love hearing the stories from the families who have benefited from Ronald McDonald House. We are thrilled today to have the Bennett family with us. We've got Dad Michael, Mom Brittany, Evelyn, Lillian, Nora, Lucas, and Esther. Hi, thank you guys so much for being here. Brittany, tell me about your story. Tell me about your experience with Ronald McDonald House.
Hi, we're so happy to be here because we owe so much of the start of her life to the peace and the comfort that Ronald McDonald House gave us when we were in the NICU. And if you can imagine, like so many of these families have talked about, it's a time where you are so confused and scared, frustrated, sometimes angry, and there's so many unknowns. And to be able to have a place to go to where you feel a part of that weight off of your shoulders and feel like you are at a home is just priceless. And it just meant so much to my husband and I to be able to come back and just have a good night's sleep and then go back the next day and tackle whatever that day had for us as we were kind of going through all the unknowns of her health concerns.
So many different unknowns, and I can only imagine you've got the other kids there too. So you're not only trying to take care of your sick child, you're trying to take care of the rest of the family too.
Yeah, and we were fortunate that we had family members that were able to take care of them, but it was so nice to know that in the event that maybe they had to come be with us, that they were welcome here and that there were things for them to be able to do, and but they were luckily at home with some family members. So good to be surrounded by family. So good to be, knowing that you're in the safety of the help that you need in that time of crisis. You are a beautiful family. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And I'm so glad everyone's doing okay. We love that. All right, Rose, that's just, one of the many stories that we're hearing today, and one of the many beautiful families that is in need of the help that Ronald McDonald House of Charities has to offer.
Absolutely. And as you can see, we're at $154,000.
Yes.
That puts us at about 30% of our goal. Those gifts continue to come in. Pick up your phone. They're waiting next door at Larry H. Miller Lexus. There are volunteers and supporters waiting there for your call. You can see that we have Mackenzie Kiefer just donated. Rich Hendershot just donated. Catherine Bryan, thank you all so much for your continued. Oh my gosh, down here we have Joanne Smith. We have a $13,000 gift from Joanne Smith. If we were all together right now in a room, which we cannot be, we would be losing our minds, clapping and cheering right now because of that. You heard Mr. Bartay say that Ronald McDonald House came to his family's rescue, and you have an opportunity to right now be part of a family rescue plan. You at $200 gifts ensures that the families live in comfort and the safe home-like environment so that they are capable to tackle whatever comes the next day. That's the cost of a ticket to the polo event. Consider a gift right now of $200.
Rose, thank you so much. We spend $200 making a quick trip to Costco, don't we? So write out that check. A huge thank you again to all of our sponsors. Thank you so much for being here, being a part of this today, and allowing us to do this for the families that need this. I want to introduce you now to Nancy Markley. She is a service supervisor, meaning she helps take care of these families.
So my name is Nancy Markley. I live here in Spokane. I am a family service supervisor, and I've been with the Ronald McDonald House almost 9 years. So I am a supervisor of the staff for the family rooms, but at the moment those family rooms are closed, so I'm working here at the house. One of the things that I've noticed about families is that when we first meet them, they are like the deer in the headlights, and they don't know where they're going to be. They don't know what's going on with their child. They may not know where they're going to sleep that night. And when we meet them at the family rooms, it's an opportunity to share our mission with these families. The family rooms are inside the two hospitals that we have locally, Deaconess Multi-Care Medical Center and Sacred Heart Medical Center. The family rooms offer families to be able to come in and rest, get a snack, do laundry, hang out in the living room and just put their feet up for a while. The families that stay with us all have children in crisis, and we are so blessed to be able to share our mission with all of those families who go back to their communities and share the experience that they've had here with us. Everyone that works here feels like it's a blessing to be here. We meet families from all walks of life. And the beauty of the Ronald McDonald House is these families interact with each other. They see each other at the hospital, then they come back here after a long day and they see each other here. And it's like they're not alone. They have other families that are going through the same thing they are. And it really fosters that sense of community that's part of our mission.
Nancy, thank you so much for all that you do, and everyone here at Ronald McDonald House of the Inland Northwest. It is so important that these families don't feel alone. They are one big family at the end of the day, and they are supporting each other. Right now, we're getting a lot of support in from our community. Rose, how's it looking?
currently at $154,000. And of course, we know that goal is $500,000. So keep those phone lines ringing. As we heard earlier, that Ronald McDonald House houses over 170,000 nights of stay each year. So just think about the families that are able to be closer to one another, the brothers and sisters that are able to be closer to their siblings, and the mothers and fathers that are able to be closer to their children in the most agonizing time of uncertainty and need. You have an opportunity right now to continue at $100. Your impact today is what provides the food. You heard us talk so much about the value of just a warm meal. $100 ensures that when families come back here from an agonizing and uncertain day, that they have not only a safe place to land, a warm place to land, but a warm, hot meal waiting for them as well. It's the little things that are not little things at all that make the difference right here at Ronald McDonald House. Next door at Larry H. Miller Lexus, the phone lines are open. If we can scroll up, we're going to try to get a close look and maybe give a shout out to a few of the folks that have continued to support us. We have those gifts that are coming in. Alicia Imes, thank you so much. Mackenzie Kiefer, thank you so much. Keep those phone lines ringing. We cannot do this without you. Our goal of $500,000 needs your support, needs every single person. Of course, that matching gift is still waiting. Every gift of $1,000 is going to be matched dollar for dollar up to $25,000. Your opportunity waits for you right now to continue the incredible work of Ronald McDonald House Charities.
All right, Rose, thank you so much. Again, those phone lines are going to be open until 5 o'clock tonight. Again, our phone banks are housed down at Larry H. Miller Lexus. So give that number a call. It is right there on your screen. We need to raise that $500,000 to make sure these families stay safe. Rose put it so well. You know, it's just families in crisis who just need a warm meal at the end of the day, a safe place to stay at the end of the day. They're close to their kids. They're close to their families. That's what they need to do. And of course, they can pay their bills at the end of the month. That helps also. I want to introduce you to this incredible family. Take a listen. They're great ambassadors for Ronald McDonald House Charities.
Hi, we are the Babineaus. This is Justin. I'm Randy, Ruby, and our son August. And we spent 44 nights at the Ronald McDonald House in Spokane, Washington. August was born at 30 weeks, 3 days. And he was emergency flown to Sacred Heart here in Spokane, where we spent a total of 54 days in. And we stayed at the Ronald McDonald House for a large portion of that stay. It was a blessing. One of the biggest impacts about having a premature baby like this is your whole life gets put on pause, and you don't know where your bills are going to come from. You don't know where your kids are going to stay or how you're going to provide food or anything like that. And the Ronald McDonald House pretty much takes care of most of your basic needs right off the bat. And they do that through donations from the community and throwing telethons like this. So it's really important to continue that support and call for the kids.
Call for the kids.
Make a donation, partner with the organization. They really have a positive impact on the community, and they provide a bit of peace of mind, a big peace of mind for a lot of families in the area that have to go through what we went through.
I think no matter who you are as a family or as an individual, you're probably going to know someone in your life that this is going to impact. You know, it's either a family like ours or a family just like yours, and you don't even know it yet.
Without the Ronald McDonald House, we would have really been in a hard place. We relocated. We live 100 miles away, and because we had somewhere to land, that part of the stress was pretty much eliminated. Please consider partnering with the organization, make a donation, call for the kids.
Thanks for your donation.
This is who it impacts.
A huge thank you to the Babineau family. We just love hearing all of the stories from the families that have been able to take advantage of what Ronald McDonald House of Charities of the Inland Northwest has to offer, protecting families, taking care of families, making sure that those families are all together at the end of the day, that they feel safe, that they are near their loved one that is in crisis, that is sick. Imagine having a family and you've got one child who's sick. Maybe you've had a child that was born prematurely and you've got got to figure out where you're going to stay. You've come from hundreds of miles away, and you need a place. You need a place that you feel safe and you feel that you can put your head down at the end of the day. This is a family here, and it comes together. We need to make sure that we are all raising the funds that we need to raise for this brand new, beautiful house that now houses 56 more families. What you're watching right now is Caitlin. Caitlin has been involved in the Polo Classic since its inception, carrying the flag. You can see that there. That's amazing. All right.
For over 3 decades, the Ronald McDonald House Charities of the Inland Northwest has been a beacon of hope for families in need. Because of unprecedented challenges, they need you more than ever. A new building has eliminated the wait list, and your donations will help these families today. Now live from the Ronald McDonald House is your Call for the Kids host, Leslie Lowe.
And welcome back. We'd like to welcome in now our KHQ family. Thank you so much for being here. Let me just do a quick little recap. We are here at the Ronald McDonald House of Charities at Inland Northwest. This is the second only telethon for Ronald McDonald House of Charities. The first one was back in 1986. They were raising the last of the funds they needed to open the original house. We're in the brand new house, and that's why we're here. Today would have been the 16th annual Polo Classic. Of course, that had to be canceled. COVID-19 has canceled a lot of things. So we might have actually had to cancel it anyway because of the smoky conditions that are outside. So we are happy to be able to be here with you today. Thank you for having us in your homes. We hope that you'll join us through the next 30 minutes as we tell you the stories of the families that have been affected here. We are raising money. We want you to pick up that phone and just remember, it's always better to give than it is to receive. I want to introduce you to my good friend Rose Back. She is here. She is helping us raise those funds. You might know her because we see her at so many different charitable events here in the Inland Northwest. Hi, Rose.
Hi, Leslie. Yes, it is an absolute honor to be standing here today, part of this telethon that for many of you, this may be your first time ever participating in a telethon. I know it is for me, and I just want to encourage you right now that there's action required. You need to pick up that phone right now. We ask you to pick up your phone and support Ronald McDonald House Charities. We're super excited to lead off this half hour with a really powerful announcement. And that is that for those of you that were with us for the first half hour, you got to meet and hear from Jared Kiefer from Community Cancer Fund. And they have committed to match every single dollar raised today, dollar for dollar, every single dollar, even the match. So that means that with our $1,000 match of $25,000 and the Community Cancer Fund, those gifts of $1,000 tonight, it's a habit, today are worth $3,000. So if you really want to see your money go further and you really want to see your money impact a community, now's an opportunity for you to do that. We still have some rooms available for you as well. They're $5,000. That gets you a whole year of Adopt a Room. You can put a name on that, a company name or an honorary name on there as well. We implore you, this cause is worthy. Your time with us today is so valuable and we appreciate you sharing it with us. Pick up that phone. The volunteers at Larry H. Miller Lexus are waiting for you to call.
Thank you so much, Rose. And a big thank you to all of our sponsors. I do also want to give a nice little shout out to Jared and the entire team at Community Cancer Fund for matching those donations. What a huge gift that is. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors. You're going to hear so many great stories over the next 30 minutes. So let's raise that money that we need to raise to make sure that this house just keeps going strong and successful. I want to introduce you to the Herbst family. Take a listen.
So this is Kylie. I'm Jake, her dad.
I am Jennifer, her mom.
I'm Raimi, her sister.
And we will tell you our story about Kylie. Kylie started having seizures when she was 3 weeks old. It wasn't diagnosed as seizures until she was about 3 months old. Until she was 3 months old when she was hospitalized. And we started staying at the Ronald McDonald House when she was 3.5 years old. I think in the house from the very first time, it was super friendly, the people were outgoing. They made us feel comfortable. So we didn't feel like we were just, trying to seek attention or whatever. Cause sometimes we get that, or I get that feeling. It's great to feel like home, like a home away from home, so we're not feeling pressure.
Yeah, it's just convenient basically living in kind of a more house situation instead of a hotel, more homely, and with the food there and usually being right by the hospital nearby, made it very convenient.
We grew up doing 4-H, and then we started our girls doing 4-H. Our oldest did 4-H. Raimi does 4-H, and now that Kylie's 8 and can do 4-H, we thought, it would be amazing to give back to the Ronald McDonald House and have her take a lamb and sell it. And so we raised her lamb. Raimi did a lot of the work with the lamb, training it. We worked almost every day with her, standing in the head stall. So when we came to show, it would be really good, and she would work perfectly in it. And so at the sale, they bought and sold her lamb 6 times. And so it was great. It turned out way better than what we expected. So we were so happy that we were able to give the Ronald McDonald House more than what we were planning, or more than what we expected. Just our way of giving back for everything they do for us and our family. We definitely wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Oh, I love that story so much. You see these families who have been here, they've taken advantage of what Ronald McDonald House of Charities has to offer. They know how important it is, and then they turn around and they give back. You heard that. They were able to sell that lamb 6 times over, which is awesome. Okay, just a quick little program note. We aren't wearing masks here within the confines of this telethon. The reason why is we are properly social distanced within here. We want you to be able to see our faces. We think it's so important. I want to introduce you to somebody who's very important in our community. Jack Heath, he is the president. He's the COO of Washington Trust Bank. I know, Jack, that you've been involved in so many different organizations that continue to look for cures to fight cancer. Talk to us a little bit about what your passion is.
Thanks, Leslie. On behalf of Washington Trust Bank and all our employees, there's not one of us who hasn't been impacted by this terrible disease. And what you're going to hear about today are these amazing stories about these resilient kids fighting through this battle, and the way the Ronald McDonald House creates this incredible environment for them to be here, be present, have the support services, and really have incredible successes in fighting this disease. So for us, this is an amazing process to be involved in, and we really want to raise a lot of money today to help finish this incredible project, support these families and these kids in need. So thanks for being here, and thanks for your support. Please pick up those phones and call in, and let's raise some money today.
I love it, Jack. Thank you so much. And you're right. I don't know of a family that hasn't been impacted by cancer in one way or another, or in some kind of a crisis and in need of some kind of help. Let's toss it back over to Rose. Rose, how are we doing?
Well, we are up to $170,000. And I just want to remind you that thanks to the Community Cancer Fund and also that incredible Fetty Foundation $25,000 match, your money can go further right now. And one of the most incredible opportunities you have, of course, is to adopt that room. They are $5,000 for an entire year. But today we're joining together for education, celebration, and also action. And that action that's required for you right now is simply to pick up the phone. The action that was taken by Kylie and Raimi. What a beautiful partnership of these 2 sisters. And then also the partnership that came from the community at the North Idaho State Fair, where they did sell that sheep 6 times. One person bought it, donated it back, sold it again, over and over again 6 times to generate over $15,000 for Ronald McDonald House Charities. And what a beautiful example that is of community coming together. And that's what we're doing here today. We are coming together to support this amazing work. And you can do that. Remember, your money goes further for the cause. Your $1,000 gifts are worth $3,000 right now. There's a matching gift of every single dollar for dollar for dollar. Thank you to Community Cancer Fund. My, oh my, I am impressed by this community. These gifts, we have Garrett Strotcher has donated. Haley Duma has donated. We have Joelle and Bryce Chamberlain. Thank you so much. We have $5,000 from Nicole Tyann. Twice, that's $10,000. Peter Rusnick has donated almost $6,000. Keep those gifts coming. We have a $2,500 gift down here. Roger Junkermeyer, every single one of you, you are doing an incredible job. Keep those calls coming in.
Keep those calls coming in, that's for sure. You see that number right there at the bottom of your screen. You know what? I get excited when I see Rose starting to get excited. So we want to see your name pop up on that screen. You want to make that donation. Those phone banks are going to be open until 5 o'clock tonight. Again, a big thank you to Larry H. Miller, Lexus, for housing the phone banks that we've got down there. We've introduced you to a lot of families, all in a different kind of a crisis. Now I want to introduce you to this lovely couple from Lewiston.
I'm Cheyenne Cleveland.
And I'm Peter Gregg. We are engaged. We just had twins over in the NICU unit at Deaconess Hospital. They were born at 33 weeks, so a little bit early, obviously. They're kind of small. We've had quite a go around with them the last week and a half or so.
Just a couple of days after I delivered, the social worker at Deaconess came to talk to us about Ronald McDonald House, which we hadn't heard of it at all, or
we knew it existed, just
not the surface.
Because we obviously have to just drive up right by it coming to Deaconess, so it's right there.
Yeah, so she let us know that we would qualify to get to stay here since our babies need to be there in the NICU for several weeks while they grow and develop. So she let us know about that. So we're really
it's a huge blessing.
Really thankful that was something, just because a 2-hour drive every day to Lewiston doesn't work with visiting babies 3 or 4 times a day in the NICU. So
yeah, it's the help from everybody, all the support and contributions that have made our stay here possible. And I mean, we really appreciate it, and I know future families will also really appreciate your donations.
All right, Cheyenne and Greg, thank you so much. And we're so glad that Milo and Emerson are doing well. So many people that we get to meet today. I'm really excited to introduce you to Tim and Terry Skubitz. They are one of the local McDonald's owners here. And we're so grateful for all that the local McDonald's do to support Ronald McDonald House of Charities. I want to say welcome to you guys, but I also have to say, hey, thanks for spending your wedding anniversary with us today. I think we've got some chocolate, maybe some champagne somewhere for you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Talk to us about your involvement with Ronald McDonald House of Charities and what you've got right there in your hand.
Well, Tim can start because he started first. So,
I was approached by the House in 2003 to become a board member, and I stayed on for 2 terms, became president of the board, and did an additional term. And so I exited in 2010 and carried on with the endowment board for the Ronald McDonald House. And truth be told, Terry followed in my footsteps.
Yeah, I was on the finance committee for a very long time, trying to get this house built over many, many years, and finally it's here. I'm now the current board treasurer, and it's been a very challenging and rewarding experience to be here at this time when this new house has come to fruition. So we're very happy about that.
Tim, Terry, thank you so much. And that is a very generous donation that I see in your hands right now.
Yes. So this donation is actually, a lot of people don't realize that the 95% of all U.S. restaurants are owned by individual families. And these families right here in the inland Northwest, they go as far south as Lewiston, Idaho, over to Brewster, Washington, up north to Omak, Colville, Ponderay, Idaho, and as far as Kellogg, Idaho. So this was money that we normally donate during the polo event that happens every year, and it happened 3 times during our anniversary on September 13th. But this year, we're happy to donate this money from our families to the families that stay here at the house.
We love this so much, and we are so blessed by your generosity and your partnership. Thank you so much for being here today, for being a part of the Ronald McDonald House of Charities events, continually the Polo Classic event, which was, of course, canceled this year. We're grateful for you. Happy anniversary to you. Are you headed out for dinner? That's the important question.
Dinner at home.
Dinner at home. You know what? Right now, that's probably not a bad thing at all. Thank you guys again so much. Yeah, we appreciate you. All right, now I want to introduce you to the Harper family.
So I'm Katie Hafner, and this is Harper, and my husband's not here today, he's at work. But we stayed at the Ronald McDonald House in Spokane in 2018 for a little over a month and a half when we had Harper. Harper decided to come quite a bit early at 32 weeks. But we stayed at the house and I just walked back and forth to Deaconess every 3 hours for care time. I was initially supposed to be discharged from Deaconess because I had a C-section, so you can stay a little bit longer. And Harper was going to be in the NICU for 2 months. I was not in a mental or emotional state that I could leave her, and I wasn't going. So our great doctor that we had, she was like, well, we'll let you stay as long as you can, and we'll get you in contact with Ronald McDonald House. And they did everything we could, and we sat on the wait list, and we finally got in, and I was a puddle of tears knowing that I would only be 3 blocks away from where I needed to be with my baby. So it was great to be able to have that. And now that they have the additional house, there's so many more parents that they're going to be able to serve. Not everyone has a preemie, but if anything happens to your children, you want to be close. Those are your littles that you feel helpless because your child is sick, but the closer that you can be to them and the more accessible you can be to the physicians, it gives your heart a little bit of peace of mind.
Thank you.
It's so cute. Okay, that's the Hepner family, and Harper is adorable. Caitlin, thank you so much. You know what? I wouldn't have left my baby either. So that is why we're here today. We're raising money for the Ronald McDonald House of Charities, Inland Northwest, families in crisis that need your help right now today. Anyway, we're so happy that Harper's just a little bundle of energy. She's adorable. Rose, how are we doing?
Absolutely. Well, we are at $166,000, as you can see, raised right here. Again, every single dollar is matched, dollar for dollar, thanks to the Community Cancer Fund. And we just implore you, stories like that when, no one goes to the hospital to have a baby with the intention of leaving that baby behind. And you can see we have these gifts have continued to come in. Christine Stitton, thank you for $500. Susan Fox, thank you for your $500 contribution. Jerry Yates has also given $500. What a great and wonderful response we are having today. There is a lot of uncertainty in 2020, but one thing that we know is very certain is that the Ronald McDonald House was going to continue to provide a safe place for families to land, a safe place to keep families closer in the midst of absolute uncertainty. If you had joined us today at Polo, it would have been a $200 ticket price. Last year, we had over 1,100 people in attendance. And we just ask you, if you were one of those 1,100 that were with us last year live, would you consider right now picking up your phones? There are volunteers waiting right across the street at Larry H. Miller Lexus. They want to receive your calls. There are sponsors and volunteers there waiting for your call. $200 makes sure that the waiting list that this family sat on no longer exists because of the amazing work that you did. It is our goal to make sure that no family ever sits on a waiting list again. $500,000 is our goal. We can do that with your support today.
We can definitely do that. And again, a huge thank you to all of our sponsors. You see that phone number right there at the bottom of your screen. Pick up that phone. Put on your polo hat. I know you were headed to the Classic today if it was going to be going on. Put on that polo hat, pick up the phone, give us a call. We need to raise that $500,000 and we are on our way for sure. It's not just the families that are involved in all of this. It's the doctors as well. Take a listen.
I'm Dan Brudico. I'm a pediatric critical care physician. Now retired. When I got here in 1992, Ronald McDonald House was already here, but I became more aware of it because of the need that my patients' families had. Those families that were being, those kids that were being flown in from around the eastern part of the state, and including Oregon and Idaho and Montana. Most of the time in those first hours, literally the only comforting information they may hear is that we have a place for them. So I would say the impact on the family starts right there. The relief, at least in their newfound world with an injured or ill child, is now very, very palpable, very obvious. Though, of course, there's still quite upset about everything else, they can put that aside. And as the days go on, as the weeks go on, you continue to see the interaction that these people are having with the house, with the staff in the house, with other families who they can share their experiences with, they can get some support. It's very, very, very helpful from that standpoint, again, on the long term. I can't emphasize enough the need to have this facility strong, thriving, expanding, so that we no longer have wait lists. And we've taken a giant step towards that with this new facility. It's beautiful, and people should come and just view it whenever they can. It's a wonderful facility. You would be delighted to be a part of it in any way you can, as working within it and serving meals or financially supporting it.
Thank you, Dr. Rico, for all that you have done for the Ronald McDonald House of Charities of the Inland Northwest. We now are going to welcome in our team from Bloomsday, and we have got Dory with us today. We've got Don Cardano, of course, he was the founder of Bloomsday, and Mark Starr, who is the president of Bloomsday. I'm not sure where I'm going to start here. This is quite the lively group, but you know what, Don, let's talk about the fact that we're doing a virtual Bloomsday. Did you ever think that was going to happen?
Well, I mean, the year we started, 1977, if somebody had asked me about a virtual Bloomsday, I wouldn't know what they were asking. So it's only been in the last 5 years that virtual races have come around, and this is our first year, and we did it of necessity. But I think it's going to work out well.
I think so too. I do. And you guys every year pick a charity that you're involved with. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, you know, Dory here is the chair of our charity committee, so I'll let her answer that.
So the charity was very excited about this charity as a choice, and we also loved a lot of the ideas that Ronald McDonald House had, such as the socks, which Mark is modeling here for us. And so they just had a lot of great ideas, and it's just a wonderful charity.
They are. They're such an amazing charity. Okay, so Mark, you're sporting the socks. I guess, you know, not only Mark also is the owner of David's Pizza, in case you didn't know, which you can smell throughout the building right now. But can people still register for Bloomsday?
Yes. Actually, our official registration is shut down right now. We came to the end of that. However, for anybody who donates over $100 today to Ronald McDonald House, we are going to give them one Bloomsday entry.
I love that. That's a drop in the bucket. $100 is going to also get you into Bloomsday. So do that now. Give that phone number a call. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. I love our Bloomsday crew. They've done so much over so many years for our community. Thank you guys so much for being here. Dory, Don, and Mark. Mark, the socks, you're killing it right there, buddy. You're killing it there. All right, let's toss it over to Rose. You heard Mark say it's $100 donation. That's also going to get your registration for Bloomsday. Rose, how are we doing?
Well, I just am excited to tell you that we have a $25,000 gift. Of course, we have the match from the Fetty Family Trust, but now we also have a $25,000 outright gift from them. We're so excited about that. I'm glowing. I'm so excited over here. And we also have a $12,000 gift from John and Doreen Mills. Oh my gosh, the gifts and the pledges just continue to come. And as you well know, every single dollar that is being given here today is being matched dollar for dollar by the Community Cancer Fund. So pick up the phone, call the number on your screen. The folks at Larry H. Miller Lexus are waiting for your call.
All right, Rose, thank you so much. And again, a huge thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you for being a part of this today, allowing us to put this telethon on to raise the money that we need for this beautiful house and to continue to help families in crisis. We've heard from so many different families today, their different experiences, and it pulls your heartstrings. I want to introduce you right now to Abigail Franklin. She is the VP of Marketing and Strategy for Global Credit Union with a story of her own.
Global's mission is to grow dreams, members, and community. We encourage community involvement throughout the year, and every year we focus on a community service day where we close our branches and work for a purpose. We have always been a family-first organization, and that perfectly aligns with the work of Ronald McDonald House Charities. When a child gets sick, it affects the entire family. Parents are forced to make the impossible decision to work or to be with their sick child, or their other children. Especially right now, with limited visitation and the need to protect the vulnerable even more, the ability to stay close is invaluable. 5 years ago, my daughter got sick. And luckily, we live here. So she was at Sacred Heart Children's for about a month. And she was in a coma for 3 weeks of that month. And so we did have the opportunity to go into the family room and take a break. And the love and support of the families, and just knowing that you're not alone, you're not in this all by yourself when you're in just the hardest thing a parent can imagine to go through, is the reason why Ronald McDonald House Charities has always really touched my heart. And when you're a parent and your child is sick in the hospital, you can't leave, you can't go to work. I mean, there's so many. If we had our little boy was 12 months old at the time, and you do have to choose between sitting at the bedside of your sick child or playing and teaching your other children how to walk. It's something, unless you experience, it's very difficult to understand. But I'm so appreciative for this organization and all the families who've come before me and will come after me, and all of the people who really open up their hearts and pockets and really make sure that these resources are available in people's time really truly of crisis.
Oh, Abigail, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And you're right, you can't know unless you've been through it. And all of these families here in crisis, they need your help. We want to just invite you to please pick up that phone and make that donation. Rose?
Yeah, we are at over $200,000. And I think these numbers they were getting so many calls that we're having a little bit of fluctuation here in our numbers. We believe the number is actually greater than this. So keep those phone lines busy, keep those calls coming in. We're going to acknowledge some of our actual donors here in just a moment, but we are at $200,000, over $200,000 of our $500,000 goal. And you may never, ever have an opportunity to meet the people that are impacted by your gift today. And hopefully you never have to be a recipient of the services provided by Ronald McDonald House. But if you are, we will be here for you. Ronald McDonald House will be here for you in your time of need, in the midst of the most uncertain times. The next 48 gifts are going to get one of those socks that you saw just a few minutes ago. We have 48 pairs of socks. So the next 48 gifts of at least $10 or more are going to go home with that pair of socks. You have until 5 p.m. today. Every single dollar matched dollar for dollar. Thank you so much for your continued support of this community.
I love that, Rose. Again, thank you so much for allowing us to come into your home today, for listening to these stories, for helping out these families, for picking up that phone and making a difference. You have no idea the difference that you have made today. Write down that number. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. If you're needing a minute to kind of look over your finances, see where you're able to donate right now, those phone banks are going to be open until 5 o'clock tonight. But that's a big thank you again to Larry H. Miller and Lexus. That's where those phone banks are housed. Thank you again so much.
Here's what's coming up on SWX, powered by Fastenal. Thank you for your business, Inland Northwest.